arrives inside the locker room. Players' final few moments to prepare for the game and the task ahead. Clouds passing high over the 10th Avenue Bridge and the Mississippi River here in Minneapolis. A gorgeous scene. Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. Kevin Harlan here, joined by our analyst Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. Plus, reporting from the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, Kevin Durant said his days of trying to prove himself through basketball are done. He said, walking around with a chip on my shoulder is not my thing. I'm more relaxed in letting these days flow. I'm the best version of me. I don't need to prove who I am. I've been in it for too long. Kevin, this is a guy who is finally comfortable with himself.
All right, thanks, D.A. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Towns.
And in the last 5 games, he's made a bunch of hustle plays on the glass more than anywhere else. His rebounding totals in these games shows a dramatic increase from his numbers during the rest of the season.
So the net starting 5. Irving and LeVert are at the 1 and 2. Wilson Chandler out there with Durant, and it's Jordan in at the 5 down low. And for the Timberwolves, we've got Russell. Johnson is out there with Towns. Then it's Culver, and it's Okogie in at the 2. And with the signing of Durant and Irving along with DeAndre Jordan, Greg, are the Brooklyn Nets now claiming the mantle for the top team in New York?
Listen, they were already the better team a season ago. After stealing the Knicks' thunder in free agency, acquiring the superstar talent, they're poised to steal the Knicks' cultural relevance as well.
Now, here is Russell. Coming off a solid outing against Cleveland. Here's Okogie. LeVert defending. 5 to shoot. Towns. The shot comes out. The Nets go the other way with it. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Well, they couldn't buy a bucket at times, and that's frustrating, and that game was not their friend.
Well, Greg, I thought the striking thing was how little offense they generated. It doesn't matter how stout your defense is when you play that poorly on the offensive end.
And here are the Nets. Outside Irving. High post, KD. Six to shoot. The pass to Chandler. From outside the arc. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. And it's Towns with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And I credit the shot selection in that one. It's hard to stay patient, but you see the reward.
Well, typically, Greg, great decision-making leads to great shooting percentages. I thought that team played a very smart game.
And here's Culver following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving. Unloads from 9. Chalk up 2 there.
Well, you want to see this from Karl Anthony Towns. He's got the size, the length, and the touch to take and make high-percentage shots.
Here's LeVert. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Passes it to Jordan. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. LeVert kicks to Chandler. 6 on the shot clock. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. It's stolen by Johnson. And that one's good. Towns has got his second basket of the night.
Boy, for a man his size, Towns does a sensational job running the floor.
Here's Irving. Not a good performance from him in that loss to Houston. Pass to LeVert. Back to Irving. That's good. And it's LeVert with the assist.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, Greg, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Irving against Russell. To the inside. Johnson kicks to Russell. Sinks the triple.
Well, it's key that you've got to maintain concentration throughout the game. And D'Angelo Russell, nice job in the catch and shoot.
Irving passes to Durant. Offensive rebound. Here's Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
Impossible to stop the putback when he's got that kind of position.
Agreed, Greg. Let him get his hands on it inside and finish it off.
How about the activity level, the effort level? This team right now feeding off his energy.
Now here's Towns. Talking about that win against the Cavaliers, he was definitely a major factor as well.
There's no doubt. Kyrie Irving has proven to be more active as a defender now. He has a good feel for when to go after steals.
Here's Culver. Pass to Okogie. To the left wing. Shot clock at 5. Outside, Towns. Three-pointer. Ball's knocked loose. For Brooklyn, they've gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. To the middle. And then Durant with the jam.
Well, Kyrie Irving, if you're open, he will find you. This guy is a scorer, but he understands others have got to come along with him.
The pass to Okogie. Towns against Jordan. 8 feet away. And it's Towns missing.
Well, this is how you shut him down. A tremendous contest against a very skilled player.
Pass to Culver. Releases from 15. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Nets leading by 4.
There are very few players in the world who can do what Kevin Durant does. Under duress of the playoffs or a big moment in the game, Kevin Durant has the skill set and the mentality necessary to finish opponents off.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. And that skill set of Durant's that, Doris, you just mentioned, there really is no comparison in the league.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, just to have that soft touch with that height he has is rare in itself. Now you think about the mobility and creativity to find a shot for himself or others in any situation. That is what makes him one of the all-time greats.
Here's Culver following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Russell left side to end the run. Chandler with the rebound. Brooklyn's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Here's Irving, and he uses the glass on the layup. Irving's got 9 points.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
And Greg, you want to continue to build on this lead. Right now, still a little too close for comfort.
Now, here is Russell. And he can certainly fill it up when they need him to. He's averaging almost 21 points a game. Count it. Russell's got his second bucket tonight.
What a gamer this guy is. D'Angelo Russell relishing the opportunity to play through contact.
Brooklyn leading by 7. Pass to LeVert. Here's the 3. He's now 2 for 3 with that miss. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. Right side Towns. Over Irving. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Russell. And that's now 6 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Irving passes to Jordan. And no good. Towns with the defensive effort. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Okogie. An easy 2 points on the layup.
When Russell gets his teammates involved, it makes this entire team better, and it'll make him more effective at the point position.
Here's Irving. He's got 9. Russell kicks to Towns. Such a wide open look. 8 points for him.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
Nets have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Russell against Irving. Now here's Durant. Tight defense on him. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Listen, simply put, he's got to finish that. It's not like the defender was right on top of him.
Chandler with the ball. Now Chandler defending, and they take the lead. And the Timberwolves lead by 1.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
So both teams changing it up here. And let's take a moment to honor the Western Conference Player of the Week, Karl Anthony Towns.
You know, just looking back at things, I'd be hard-pressed to find a more complete stretch of games by anyone in the league. He was getting it done and stuffing the stat sheet night in and night out on both ends of the floor. Truly a dominant run.
Now, here is Irving. 9 points in the game so far. Dinwiddie against Hernan Gomez. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Well, Towns showing himself to be a willing facilitator. If you're open, he's going to find you.
Nets trail by 3. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA-level stuff.
The shot by Layman, no good.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
Irving from long range. But they get it back to end the cold streak. And Allen with the layup.
You know what? That's all about hustle and a nose for the basketball. Tremendous job on the offensive glass by Jarrett Allen.
Pass to Layman. And there's the call. It's on Spencer Dinwiddie. That is his first foul of the game. Harris is checked in for Irving. Dinwiddie covering. Kicks to Towns. Clock at 6. And it's sent back by Allen.
Boy, you've got to watch those long arms of Jarrett Allen. Twice on the pipe, send it back.
Prince wide open. And the 3 off target. And here are the Timberwolves. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace. Inside, Hernan Gomez. Can't cash in from close range. Brooklyn trailing. Now here is Harris. He's guarded closely. Back to Dinwiddie. From 12 feet out. Here's Allen. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. And the Nets lead by 1.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Now the pass to Layman. Over Prince. Here's Towns, and Towns throws it down.
Karl Anthony Towns can be a 20 and 10 guy consistently. This guy is a workhorse on the glass.
And so it's Dinwiddie with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. Harris outside. 1:39 left in the first quarter. Back to Dinwiddie. And it's off from three-point range. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Dinwiddie with the rebound. Net shooting to start out this game about 43%. Harris passes to Allen. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
And it's good for two.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
1:02 left to play here in the first. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Beasley against Dinwiddie. That shot off. Towns with the defensive effort.
It's hard for them to cut into this lead when he's firing zeros. All period, he's been so cold.
And the dunk by Towns.
If Karl Anthony Towns is feeling it, he will command the basketball. And as a coach, that's what you're hoping for.
35 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Prince outside. He kicks it to Allen. Now here is Harris. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Prince finds Dinwiddie. Over Beasley. Dinwiddie's shot is off.
Well, this guy cannot get started, and the offense overall has been a struggle because of it.
Passes it to Hernan Gomez. It's tipped. Just 3 on the clock. Basket counts. Now it's a 7-point Timberwolves lead. And so it's Minnesota bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll get right back to the action when we return. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. And guys, what's your take so far on the Timberwolves?
I love their effort, contesting shots, trying to intimidate here early on.
Well, as a shooter, when the ball is sent back in your direction enough times, it can certainly have an impact on your mind.
Setting the floor for the Nets. On the perimeter, Harris and Prince. Then there's Allen. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Claxton in at the power forward. Nets trail by 7. Dinwiddie passes to Harris. Doris, if you were going to build a team around one player, who would that player be?
Well, I think because of his age and continued growth opportunity, I would probably say Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's playing at an MVP level. He's still got another decade where he's probably in the peak range of his playing capabilities. And the reality is Giannis still has so much growing to do. He's a force at the rim. He continues to build that three-point game. And Kev, once he gets that in-between game, he will be unguardable.
Can't argue with that at all. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. He's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Nets trail by 9. Here's Prince. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
And the first one drops.
And you think about the Wolves' history. KG clearly their best player, but Big Cat has a chance to reach that level someday.
He does, Greg, and I think we always look through KG's legacy being defined by passion, commitment, and leadership. That was as important as his basketball skill. Karl Anthony Towns is similarly talented, right? I think the key is he just needs to find consistency. That's the last step. You have to remember, the Nets surrendered their draft pick every year for 5 straight years, between the years 2014 to 2018. How they turned that into a playoff run last year, one of the great stories in the league.
Now, here is Russell. 5 points in the game. And Doris, you're right. Those picks you're referring to surrendered by the Nets in their 2013 trade with the Celtics.
And think about it, Kev. That transaction was one in a string of trades by the Nets, trading their picks for veterans. This 2019 draft, only the second time the Nets controlled their pick in the last 9 years. What they have achieved in the face of that is nothing short of remarkable.
Free throw good, Russell.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
Karis LeVert's checked in for Dinwiddie. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves, only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally.
Now, here's LeVert, guarded closely. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Hernan Gomez has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Culver passes to Hernan Gomez.
And you look at the cast-offs that have found success in Brooklyn, Doris, a great part of the Nets story.
And I think what the players appreciate is the team that gave them their first real shot to play significant minutes. That buy-in and urge to prove themselves a part of what makes their culture special.
No good on that one.
And until their playoff run, the Brooklyn Nets weren't a team we thought of as a free agent destination. And Doris, you almost forget that they play in the biggest market in the country.
And Greg, who would have thought that in New York and Los Angeles, arguably the most competent franchises would be the Nets and the Clippers. These are two of the historically dilapidated teams no longer content to play second fiddle in those major markets.
Doris, one of the biggest free agent signings in years. LeBron James going to the Lakers. What did you think of his first season with L.A.?
Well, when you're LeBron James, perhaps no athlete in the history of the NBA has borne the weight of expectation as much as LeBron. So if there's anything short of a playoff appearance, there's disappointment. But what I would say is, through Christmas Day and his first real injury that he had to endure, LeBron was playing like an MVP. We are talking about one of the greatest to ever do it. I expect them to turn things around in Lakerland this year.
I agree with you, and I agree on your prediction. Now, here's LeVert. He has 5. KD dishes to Harris. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Towns.
He's really made that a focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value as a player by leaps and bounds.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively. Well, the defense deserves to get burned. Absolutely no excuse for leaving him open.
Minnesota with the ball, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Pass to Spellman. Out to the wing. For 3, Okogie drains it from beyond the arc. Okogie's got 5.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
LeVert against Russell. Here's LeVert. Harris with it. Shot clock at 6. Pass to KD. Here's Jordan. The dish now to Allen. That shot missing. Timberwolves leading by 8. Here's Russell. Uses the glass to finish the layup. 9 points in the game so far.
Okay, D'Angelo, Russell mixing in a little interior work, not bashful.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Lobs it up for Jordan. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Ernie Gomez has got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Okogie. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
And Doris, last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
And it's Irving with the ball for Brooklyn. It's a 16-point game. Last time they met was in Brooklyn.
And the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
I think they took tremendous satisfaction from that performance and ended up winning going away. So is it something they'll look to repeat tonight?
Russell against Irving. Russell passes to Johnson, and out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. Almost halfway through the season, let's check out the standings out west. You look at the Timberwolves, they're down in 10th place here in the middle part of the season. They'll need to make a move soon.
And I think for the Timberwolves, they're one of those teams that hasn't quite figured it out this year. A lot of talent, a lot of heart, but nothing to put them up on that next level.
You know, it's got to be frustrating for them, Greg. You can't dwell on the past. You've got to think forward, work together, and play for one another.
Minnesota leading by 14. He dishes it to Culver. Over Irving. Culver's shot is off.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion. All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
Okogie misses. In transition, here come the Nets. Up again. Russell trying to free himself up. Misses the follow-up. Here's Okogie. He's covered by Irving. And the basket by Okogie. Okogie's got 13.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Irving passes to Chandler. And here's LeVert. He has 5. Now Chandler. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Chandler's got his first 2 points.
Well, the defense wants to keep the ball out of that area. Why? Because if it gets in there, most players are going to finish.
Here's Spellman. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
This has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not letting the game come to him. He's got to settle down and make shots.
Russell, no luck.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Now, here's Culver. After the miss from KD. Here's Spellman. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. For Minnesota, they have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension. And what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
How many times have we seen DeAndre Jordan take it off the window and convert? Boy, he is so good.
Outside, Towns. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. The 3 from Johnson. No good. Shot missing. The Nets go the other way with it. And Doris, you think about how hard this Brooklyn team competes. I think they take right after their head coach.
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin. Coach Atkinson is still willing to get on the court and jump into drills with his players. Let's remember, going back to the early days of his career, he was a player development coach. And before that, yes, he even played. That effort and willingness to break a sweat very much reflected in his group.
Nets trail by 13. Here's Irving. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. And that's 13 points for Kyrie Irving.
Well, how about that floor awareness by Spencer Dinwiddie, getting his guys the basketball in great spots.
Chandler outside. Offline with his three. Timberwolves leading by 11. Here's Okogie. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Cleveland. Dinwiddie drives in. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
I'll tell you, that's just great body control, even when he's getting bodied up. Nicely done, Spencer Dinwiddie.
And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Second-round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season, he signed that 4-year, $48 million extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
Free throw no good from Dinwiddie. Around this time of year, lots of national broadcasted games, Doris. Does that impact the players, you think, in any way?
I certainly think the guys are aware of the nights they're on national television. Some guys relish, Kev, as you know, the opportunity to play on the big stage. So for the regular season, those nights where you know the entire country is watching, that's a big deal.
And it's Irving with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets, down by 12. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Now, here's Dinwiddie. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
Well, DeAndre Jordan making his presence felt at the offensive end. Nice.
Well, last season for sure, Greg, a bit of a journey for DeAndre Jordan as he went from the Mavericks to the Knicks before his free agency. Now he is a part of Brooklyn.
And both KD and Kyrie took pay cuts to get Jordan on board. Still a factor with his size and defense despite a lackluster year in 2019. Nets are hoping he can find his magic and be a force once again.
And the first one at the line is good.
And after spending his first NBA decade with the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan bounced around last season, remains a supreme athlete and rebounder, though, at that center position.
And so Jordan nails both of them. And a nightly double-double threat is DeAndre Jordan, but some dissatisfaction with his play last season. Greg, what was that?
Well, I felt like his impact has tailed off just a bit from his peak with the Clippers. Sometimes the great athletes have more of an adjustment as they enter their 30s.
It's the Nets now after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Jordan with the jam. Great game for him. Double-double now. 10 points and 13 rebounds.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
There's 49 seconds left in the first half. And on the way from Irving for three, it's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns.
And after nailing a three-pointer in the first quarter, he has yet to connect here in the second.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. There's no doubt that Karl Anthony Towns is the star of his team right now and in the future.
I think, Kevin, for all the drama and all the turnover we have seen, the one constant has been Karl Anthony Towns' productivity. The question now for the team is, how do they build a title contender around him?
The free throw drops for Towns.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
The Nets making a switch here. Allen's checked in, and the rejection by Towns. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. So it's Minnesota now. Minnesota leading by 12. Beasley outside. The pass to Lehman. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater.
Boy, you got to love the defensive effort, contesting that shot by Kyrie, just trying to frustrate his man on the defensive end.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. With Karl Anthony Towns. Karl, you got some scoring going in that first half. What did you take advantage of?
I'm just finding spots, not chasing it, letting it come to me. Just using what my teammates give me.
Productive half so far, Karl Anthony. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. The first half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He had 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this over to the second half. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
Kenny, how'd you think the Nets were playing?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
Well, it didn't take him long to get that double-double. Already has it halfway through the game.
That takes a level of aggression and a level of focus, and he has brought it all night thus far.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court for Minnesota, James Johnson is out there with Colvin. Then there's D'Angelo Russell. Then there's Towns. And it's Okogie in at the shooting guard position. Stolen by LeVert. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. But players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. And some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you. Here's Russell following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Johnson outside. The shot that time, not on target. Durant with some nice D. To the paint. Here's Irving. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That's on D'Angelo Russell.
You know, Irving isn't just a perimeter player. He's so dynamic inside as a scorer. His strength is savvy, tough to keep the defense on balance.
The first free throw is good. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college to get ahead in their career and what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, and times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
There's the call on James Johnson. That's his first foul. Irving surveying the floor. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Towns against KD.
Now, I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Here's Culver, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, and how about another trait for Culver? That elite body control, even through contact, special.
Nets trail by 9. Now here's Durant. 6 points for him. Passes it to LeVert. The tray. Minnesota with the rebound. 17 points was their biggest margin. Next up for them, the Bucks in Milwaukee. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Russell. Drops in the layup for 2. And it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
You have the sense that D'Angelo Russell likes to play through contact. This is a tough-minded player.
The Nets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Irving. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got rebound number 15 here tonight. Here's Culver. He can't hit that time. Chandler with the defensive effort.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Juan Hernangomez, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Harris is checked in for Brooklyn. And here's Chandler, who brings it up for Brooklyn. 11-point game. And on the way from Irving for 3. He watches it go through the hoop for his 8th make. Now 8 for 14.
Well, after netting one in the first half, that's the second deep ball to go down for this guy.
Stolen by Durant. The shot by Chandler, wide open. Drains the 19-footer.
We so often identify Joe Harris as strictly a shooter, but this guy, he is a tremendous passer as well.
Pass to Hernangomez. Over in the corner. Pass to Towns. Towns is double. Over in the corner. Chandler with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. A nice shot by Irving.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
I think the communication on offense is working at every level right now. What a run for this group.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. Culver passes to Russell, and he drops it in from the low post. Russell's got 4 points now in the quarter.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Irving against Russell. Jordan can't get it to go.
And he saw the play develop, but the pass just wasn't there.
It was a really good thought for sure, but the lob has got to be better than that.
And stolen by Jordan. Outside Durant. With some arc, he takes it up and lays it in. KD's got 8 points.
Well, Kevin Durant has an ability to put the ball on the deck and finish off the drive. Prime example there.
The pass to Okogie. Now Culver, guarded by Harris. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And what makes Culver difficult to defend, it starts with the footwork and then the change of pace, and you give him that ability to just rise up and shoot over you.
Beasley's checked in for Josh Okogie. He's perfect from the line this time. Nets trail by 6. Irving passes to Chandler. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Harris inside, working on Beasley. To the inside, Durant. Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Beasley right side. Over Irving. And that one hits back iron.
Boy, a clean, close look. What a missed opportunity.
Back to Durant. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And at this point, there simply is no doubt that Kevin Durant is one of the great shooters to ever play the game. The only question is just where on the all-time list will he land when we talk about the unstoppable scorer.
That free throw good from Durant. And with Durant, perhaps the most amazing part, he can have quiet nights, Greg, of 30-plus points.
Kevin, his scores are just so easy for him that you forget you aren't supposed to see 7-foot sharpshooters doing it. He can score from anywhere in any fashion and can hold his own with any player in history in terms of how unguardable he is.
Now, here is Russell. 13 points in the game.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Minnesota calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Here is Russell. Dinwiddie with the steal. And here we go. The fast break with Dinwiddie. Hammers it down off the coast-to-coast break.
What a defensive effort from Spencer Dinwiddie. The wingspan and the hustle create these steals.
Russell feeling it out a bit. Passes it to Beasley. Over with it. He's covered by Irving. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Kevin Durant.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
That free throw, no good. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Well, a lot of rough times for Irving in his final year with the Celtics, opted out, and obviously Greg wanted a change.
And quickly zeroed in on Brooklyn as a destination. His time in Boston had clearly come to an end by the finale of last season. Now joins up with a new stacked team in Brooklyn.
Well, Uncle Drew will go out there and do his thing, won't he? Kyrie Irving, an exceptional player. And in fact, if you ask other NBA players, he's one of their favorite to watch.
Here's Spellman. Layman kicks to Culver. Over to the wing. And too long on the shot.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Well, terrific job by Spencer Dinwiddie to get up the floor. It's a nice way to get an easy bucket.
Now here's Culver, guarded by Harris. Here's Layman, guarded by Prince. 5 on the clock. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Talk about hurting your team. I mean, he just can't get anything to go out there.
Harris dishes to Allen. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Boy, picking Jared Allen, number 22, back in 2017 has paid off for the Nets. This guy is proven already in his early 20s to be an NBA caliber starting center.
That free throw missing. And Jared Allen grew up in the Austin area and played near his home at the University of Texas.
Yeah, Kev, just one season with the Longhorns. He really came into the league considered a project, but boy, his development is truly ahead of schedule.
Good on the second free throw.
Well, think about Mr. Jared Allen. He was not the first family member to get picked in the NBA draft. Let's remember his dad taken by Dallas in the famous 1985 draft. His dad, however, would go on to have a playing career in Europe.
Now, here's Culver. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. A moment now to check out who's leading in the All-Star voting.
And a lot of fans and players interested to see how this thing all turns out.
Take a look at Jordan. He's not too far away from his spot in the starting 5. A lot of votes have been coming his way.
And even if he doesn't get the fan votes he needs to become a starter, you have to believe he'll be a part of the Eastern Conference All-Star team.
A great All-Star weekend it'll be. We'll keep you updated as we get closer.
Well, you simply have to shake that one off, right? You can't let that kind of missed opportunity bother you. You know, two things happen there. Excellent coverage on the shot, and then finish the possession securing the boards.
Now, here's Dinwiddie. 6 points for him. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Jarrett Culver. You know, Doris, at times, he's been the Nets' best player. Spencer Dinwiddie rewarded last season with a 3-year, $34 million extension.
Well, I think he's earned it, Kevin, right? Because he has started for them, he has come off the bench, and to this young man's great credit, he has accepted and excelled in either role. And I'll tell you, it's unusual for a point guard at 6'6". He has done nothing but enhance his versatility.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
Boy, much needed timeout. This guy scoring at will, and they've had no answer.
As we approach the halfway mark, let's take a look at how everything in the East right now stands. Taking a look at Brooklyn, right now they've compiled the third best record in the conference.
And right now for Brooklyn, for me, they've taken the league by storm this season. I felt like they were maybe a year ahead of schedule in terms of being an elite group. But you look at them right now, and here they are.
Yeah, they weren't really on anyone's radar before the season began, but they're definitely there now.
Brooklyn leading by 5. Dinwiddie passes to Prince. The kick out to Irving. Launches it. It doesn't go for him. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Pass to Layman. Now here's Towns. Back to Layman to stop the run. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Layman's got his first basket of the night.
You love to see Karl Anthony Towns with the great decision-making. Passes up a scoring opportunity to find a teammate.
Irving for 3. And Layman pulls it down. Timberwolves trail by 3. And Beasley, here we go. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Spencer Dinwiddie. The Timberwolves have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line. And he knocks down the first one. Johnson, he's checked in for Layman. And the Nets also making a change. LeVert's checked in for Irving. And Beasley drops both of them.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Allen outside. Back to Dinwiddie. Over Beasley. Drilled from 11 feet out. 10 points for Spencer Dinwiddie.
You love that this guy doesn't get down on himself after a rough first half. Keep your composure and keep grinding.
Right side Towns. Here's Culver. And the dunk by Towns.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to stop Karl Anthony Towns when he's looking to score. He's got every trick at his arsenal.
A minute 42 left in the third quarter of the game. Dinwiddie outside. Prince outside. It's LeVert on the wing. Three-pointer. Hits the three-point bomb. LeVert's got 8 points.
Well, you cannot allow Karis LeVert to square up from deep. When he's in rhythm, he's going to knock down that shot with great consistency.
Now, here's Culver. He's guarded closely. Johnson at the elbow. 6 to shoot. Here's Beasley. Shoots over LeVert. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Well, the defense has been lackluster out of the locker room, and that is why they are finding themselves in a tough spot.
Pass to Beasley. Outside, Towns. Kicks it to Culver. With the putback, and it's Towns on the follow. He's got 18.
What an effort to get the tip in, just wanting it a little bit more.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. LeVert finds Prince. That's good, and it's LeVert with the assist. LeVert's got 6 assists here tonight.
And offensively, they finally seem to be coming around after an ugly first half.
And it's Beasley in the corner. To the middle. Here's Culver. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Nets out in front. They're up by 4. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. 3 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Timberwolves trail by 4. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Dinwiddie runs the point with LeVert flanking him. Jordan is out there with Jared Allen. And it's Prince in at the small forward. Towns is doubled. Okogie for 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Allen's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Beasley against LeVert. And the rejection by Towns. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Okogie. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And he makes the first. The Nets making a switch here. Chandler's checked in. He's off on the second.
And a one-year player at Texas, Jared Allen came into the league as a bit of a project. He's got ample playing time to develop in Brooklyn.
Now here's Dinwiddie. Clock at 6. From past the arc. A second chance effort. It's stolen by Johnson. Here's Beasley. Brooklyn with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And Greg, safe to say, Allen's defense is ahead of his offense.
Yeah, but his mobility and leaping ability serve him well as a finisher, providing that vertical spacing teams like to have inside.
Boy, this guy just can't buy a bucket, and yet they have the advantage.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Dinwiddie passes to Allen. And here is Jordan. No good there. Towns with the defensive effort. Here's Johnson. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Timberwolves lead by 1. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Down low, it's deflected. And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Durant's checked in for the Nets. And so it's Brooklyn with it. They have yet to put up any points here in the fourth. Dinwiddie finds Durant again with the block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. And it's LeVert missing.
He is just not taking smart shots out there. A pattern he has fallen into tonight.
Okogie misses. Brooklyn's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And he goes in for the dunk.
This is a good scorer who's got size and athleticism. Karis LeVert is not going to struggle to throw it down.
Here's Russell. Hernan Gomez trying to break free. Can't get it to fall. And so it's Dinwiddie with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. They lead by 1. There's the pass to Jordan. Towns with the defensive effort.
Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
There's the call on James Johnson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
Good timing. They're really struggling offensively.
Sometimes it just feels like misses become contagious. He wants to settle his guys down right now.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, I was able to catch Kenny Atkinson's message to his team. He knows this has been a hard-fought game, and he wanted his guys to just sit down and catch their breath. He said, look, we're right in the game, guys. Let's make a little push here. Let's come out with some bite. Kevin?
Timberwolves have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
Well, that's about the long reach of Karis LeVert on the defensive end, swatting away an opportunity.
KD with the bucket.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
Russell against Dinwiddie. Russell passes to Hernan Gomez. Here's Okogie. Just 5 on the clock. Johnson from outside. Chandler with the defensive effort. Brooklyn leading by 3. KD draws the double. Jordan kicks to Dinwiddie. LeVert with a wide open look. No good on the triple.
You've got to find a way to get yourself going in some other way, because hoisting from 3 is not the answer.
Dinwiddie outside. To the middle. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. Okogie for 3. They grab their own miss. Johnson, and the layup is good.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
To me, Greg, this is a common theme that's running through the league right now. Guys looking to leak out rather than box out.
Now here's LeVert. Sweet little floater. And the Nets lead by 3.
Well, this is yet another example of the growth of Karis LeVert. You almost have to have that floater game in your arsenal.
Russell passes to Hernan Gomez. Towns at the elbow. Back to Hernan Gomez. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The first one falls, and the Timberwolves making a change here. Culver's checked in, and the Nets also making a change. Irving's checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt you. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
Out to Chandler from downtown. Jordan pulls in another board. He hauls in his 20th rebound.
Dominating the glass. Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes, can't they? Here's Towns. Finds the open look, and it's on target. Towns has got 20 points.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
Here's Irving after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. The shot's good from Irving. And the Nets lead by 4.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Irving against Russell. Pass to Okogie. Now here's Culver. Not a lot of room. Jordan with some nice D.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Minnesota with the rebound. Culver with it. Pass to Okogie. Stolen by Durant. Now LeVert. That shot off. Towns with the defensive effort. Here's Russell. The kick out to Towns. Off target from three-point range.
Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed. Boy, that's the kind of look this offense is designed to create. That's just a tough miss.
And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. And it's Irving with the ball for the Nets. A two-point game. Here's LeVert. Off the left rim and out. Minnesota's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Makes it, and the next one could tie it up. Johnson, he's checked in for Minnesota. And it's tied up with that one. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a meager 37% for the game. Irving attacking. That shot misses. And Minnesota now the other way. And he's going up for the alley-oop. They now take the lead. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
And here are the Nets. And the rejection by Towns. Culver with it. Guarded now by Irving. It's good. Now it's a 4-point Timberwolves lead.
And how about the balance there from Culver? Really good at staying in control despite the D being all over.
They're really on their heels at this point.
Yeah, on both ends of the floor, Kevin. They've lost some confidence along the way.
KD against Russell. Count it. Good.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
This is a player who understands when the game is hanging in the balance. He knows it's winning time.
Johnson. Jordan with some nice D. Pass to LeVert. And the pass to KD. Over Johnson. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. KD's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting here in the fourth quarter around 41%. Passes to Okogie. Now here's Towns. LeVert defending. That one doesn't go. Nice D from Durant. Irving passes to Durant, and it's good, 2 points. Durant's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Well, we know Kevin Durant is one of the elite players in the NBA, and if there's a big shot to be made, he wants to take it.
Now here's Johnson. And here's Culver. Over Chandler. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. Minnesota's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Here's Okogie. Here's Johnson. And rebounds again.
Collecting yet another board.
He's been everywhere. Just sensational. It's Russell with the drive. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Chandler.
It takes discipline to stay down on the pump fake, and D'Angelo Russell enjoys using it to get that defender committed.
Gets the first, that narrows the gap to 1.
And to me, the ceiling that D'Angelo Russell has is really high. This guy is dynamic, he's confident, he can score it, and he's just going to continue to want to prove himself.
Beasley's checked in for Minnesota. And so he makes both from the line.
You must embrace the pressure and knock down critical free throws. Nicely done.
Gwinnett shooting just 30% from the field here in the 4th. Johnson against KD. And he drops in the layup off the glass. KD's got 19 points.
I tell you, very few players are as smooth and as easy as Kevin Durant is on the move. He just glides around the floor.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're trailing by 2. There's 1:26 left in the game. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, DeAndre Jordan.
He's kept a lot of their possessions alive with his work on the offensive glass. You can't measure what that kind of effort means to a team. Not just in terms of the second chances those rebounds create, but also for the example it sets.
Now, here's Culver. Towns in the corner. He kicks it to Culver. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Towns. Here's Johnson. That one a little long.
They came close there to tying it up.
Oh, he had it in his sights. He wanted it. That bucket would have been huge.
Minnesota's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0-4 since the start of the final quarter. Beasley, the pass to Johnson, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
They had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
And he does get the second one, and that narrows the gap to 1. There's 47 seconds left in the 4th. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
KD with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Money!
So much riding on that shot. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
Now, here is Russell. To the right side. Culver dishes to Towns. It's in! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Oh, does he deliver? That is a determined young fella right there. Karl Anthony Towns.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And so they foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
That last free throw was a huge, huge shot. The difference between a 2 and a 3-point lead at this stage is major.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're behind by 3. 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here to stay alive.
And it's either got to be a three-pointer or a score quickly and take the foul.
Outside, Russell. Towns kicks to Beasley. Lets it go from deep. Can't knock in the 3. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
Well, you love a guy who gets himself to the line, takes his time, and makes the free throws. Complete professional.
And so it's Brooklyn with the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother him. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, not the prettiest of wins, but you got it. What got it for you?
Well, we just wanted to keep plugging away, keep moving the basketball. We got good shots in the first half. They didn't fall, but we just stayed confident and, stayed aggressive. So, it was one of those games that you got to grind out, and that's what we did.
That's how you build a great record through the season. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Dorisburg, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.